gets rattled, he starts walking and runs. This is Chris Woodruff, grounding foul ball to the third baseman. 2 strikes on the batter.
And he has to be careful here to make sure he does hit the ball in fair territory, because on that 3rd strike he will be called out. 2-strike pitch, reaches for one, lines it to the third baseman, off his chest. He's going to go to second for the force. Beats the sliding Purcell. So a fielder's choice. Purcell out 6-4 if you're keeping score at home. 1 down, top of the second. C&Q Painting up by 1 run. Woodruff at first. Next batter is Jim Emmett, playing shortstop in tonight's ball game. Waits on one, hits it to the opposite field. Second baseman has some trouble, flips to the shortstop, bobbles the ball. He's going to be safe. Umpire wisely held off on the call, waiting to make sure the...
Chris Woodruff got down those bases pretty fast there, folks. Big fella.
He also slid and is wearing short pants. Something I think twice about doing. And at first and second, Tom Ewald up next. 1 out, top of the second. Little rally here for C&Q Painting. 1-1 the count. Ewald catching in this evening's ball game. Pops one up to left field. Looks like we might have a play at third. He's tagging. Bluffs it as the throw comes into third, and a fine throw from the left fielder. Woodruff wisely held up at second base. Strong throw came in from the left fielder, so we have 2 out. Still runners at first and second. That brings Jerry Emmett up. Jerry, the pitcher in tonight's ball game for C&Q Painting.
It's Mike Kurabalski pitching for the Golden Turkeys, facing his nemesis, Jerry Emmett.
That's the name you got me on before. We'll just call him Mike.
One coming our way here. Looks like a man from Saline, Michigan had a chance to catch that one, folks.
Looked like he was trying to go to the opposite field. Just popped one down the right field line. The right fielder unable to get hold of it. That would have fallen in. We would have had a run score there, as Woodruff, with 2 outs, was running on any ball that was hit. Woodruff at second. And that's Jim Emmett at first. Pitch line to the third baseman, bobbles it once, but he's able to pick it up with his bare hand. So C&Q Painting goes down in the top of the second inning. They have no runs. They had a walk.
Walk and a fielder's choice. 2 men left on base.
So at the end of an inning and a half here at Veterans Park, the score, C&Q Painting 1, the Golden Turkeys 0. We've seen in the ballgame so far, looks like a lot of players not waiting on the pitch, sometimes swinging at the first pitch, and oftentimes popping the ball up. And in softball, when you hit the ball on the ground, nothing against the players playing softball, but a lot of times you get another run. Do the Golden Turkeys take a lead, 2-1?
I think when I switched
second
around,
and third, still nobody down in this bottom half of the second inning.
Golden Turkeys taking the lead here. That's quick hitting. Put those men on base and hit the ball.
I guess during the course there, we had a slight technical difficulty, missed part of the game. Might as well go back and recap what happened those first couple batters for the Golden Turkeys.
Bill Sheskowski led off the inning, folks, with a single. Actually, it was an error on the third baseman, allowing him to get to first base. Steve Rapaski followed him with the line shot to the third baseman, who overthrew first base, allowing Bill Sheskowski to go to second. And Rapaski safe at first. Mike Kurabalski was safe on an error by the second baseman, allowing Sheskowski to score and Rasky to go to third. Dave Rapaski, Steve Rapaski's brother.
Hit there, fly ball to right center field. Looks like the runners are tagging. Here comes the throw home. Nice throw from the right center fielder. Forces both runners back to the bag. First out here in the bottom half of the second inning. While we continue on and update the people at home what happened here in the bottom of the second.
And Dave Rapaski got the double, scoring his brother Steve and sending Mike Kurabalski, the pitcher, to third base, where he remains now.
A line shot into left field. Left fielder up with it. 1 run scored. They're going to hold the runner at third, though. So the Golden Turkeys pick up another run. Runners at first and third. Still 1 man down. And the Golden Turkeys take a 3-1 lead. Pop-up, straight away, center field. Center fielder under it. He's going home. Here's the throw at the plate. Close play, but the runner from third beats the throw. Now, I guess when I heard one of the outfielders saying they want to appeal at first base as the runner at first moved to second. We'll have to wait and see if they do appeal this. The pitcher has his foot on the mound. Gets to the set position. He's going to step off and throw to first. And they're calling the batter out, saying he left the bag too soon.
John Wagner. John Wagner.
The run does count. The man scored from third, but the runner at first left the bag too soon as he attempted to tag up. But the Golden Turkeys do get on the board, scoring 5 runs in the bottom half of the second inning to take a 5-1 lead as we head to the third inning. I guess if we can look back and see why the Turkeys scored 5 runs in that inning, is because C&Q Painting made a couple errors, mostly on balls hit to the infield. And when you're playing softball, I guess the whole idea is to play fundamental baseball and try to cut down the mistakes and not give the other team any runs.
Yeah, they were hitting the ball hard that inning, Brian. They were putting the ball in play and hitting it hard, and that's the key to getting on base. If you hit it hard, hit somebody, then it's a lot better than flying out deep to left or something.
Well, I guess that's something we talked about between innings, that it seemed like a lot of guys were popping the ball up, and in that inning, they got the ball on the ground. And as we mentioned, anything can happen. It'll take a bad hop, make the other team throw the ball around, and in that case, it led to 5 runs for the Golden Turkeys. I guess they left the ball in from the outfield. Certainly a down-home atmosphere here at the ballpark. The coolers are out in number. A sparse crowd, though. It's still kind of early. Most people still getting off work. We're going to check on the official totals. We got a little confused there as we were trying to straighten out some of our technical difficulties, lost track of who was batting and who was running the bases. Right now there seems to be a little dispute there at pitcher's mound. I guess it's whether that run that scored on a sacrifice fly counted, because the runner left first base too early and was called out on the appeal. The umpires, Tom Dishman and Dan Boyke, talking it over with the manager from the Golden Turkeys. Obviously, they want the run to count. Have to wait and see what the official decision is. You're watching Ann Arbor City slow pitch baseball action on Ann Arbor Community Access Television. This is our first telecast of the year, so please pardon some of our difficulties. We're kind of new at this too, and I'm sure by the end of the season we'll be seeing some top-notch work here on Access. Now we have the official ruling.
I wanted to get my stats together here, folks. Sorry for the delay. What happened on that play was Tom Godfrey made the first out of the inning by flying to the right center fielder after 4 runs had scored, making the score 4-1. Mike Bragaloni came up and got a single and was on first base when the next batter, John Wagner, flew out to the right center fielder. And Mike Bragaloni on first base tagged and went to second on the throw from John Wagner's throw out and was safe. But C&Q Painting, playing some very alert ball, appealed the play, which means the pitcher receives the ball from the umpire, stands in the pitcher's circle, gets ready to pitch the ball, then comes off the mound, out of the round circle there you see, and throws the ball to the base that he thinks the man left early from, in which case first. And they were right. Mike Bragaloni had left the base early.
Now I guess the controversy now is whether Bragaloni being out on the appeal play, whether the run that came in from third actually counts. It seems to me that the run would count because it scored before the third out was made, but I'm not sure if that necessarily applies in the case of an appeal play. Either way, the Golden Turkeys, I guess the umpires have ruled that the run doesn't count, because I heard one of the members of the Golden Turkeys saying something about appealing the ball game. So we'll have to wait and see what the official determination is. And I guess we just
what
had
that
it.
means, folks, is when you appeal a ball game, is you tell the umpires that you disagree with one of their decisions, a non-judgment call. And you tell them that you're playing the rest of the game under protest. In which case, the game will be looked over by representatives of the Ann Arbor Recreation Department, and they will make a decision on whether your protest stands up or not.
Well, I guess we do have the official determination now.
The run did score?
The run did score, so I guess there's no need to protest the ball game if they are going to count the run. I guess they were explaining it to members of the C&Q painting team. Meanwhile, play has resumed. C&Q painting up. First pitch. Line down the right field line. Right fielder coming in. Can't get it. Goes off his leg into foul territory. The runner on his way to third. Throw comes into the infield. Catcher's going to stop it at home plate, but we have a lead-off triple for C&Q painting. Jeff Connors.
Jeff Collins.
Oh, Collins. Excuse me. So C&Q painting with their first man on, trying to get back on the board after the Golden Turkeys scored 5 runs in the bottom half of the second inning. Top of the third, man on third, nobody out. I guess the official determination is there was only 4 runs scored in that inning. I think next time we're going to bring a bigger scorecard or something. We're going to have to get a scoreboard here so it makes it easier for us to keep track. Pitch.
Bruce Zronsky at the plate, folks. Another one of those tough names to say. I think I'm going to let you start handling these, Brian.
I think next time we're going to find a team that has better names. Long fly ball, right field.
Could be a sacrifice.
He's going to just lob the ball back in the infield. Not much chance there. He was in pretty deep right field. So C&Q painting gets a run back on the board. Trail now 4-2 after a leadoff triple and a sacrifice fly brought that run in. 1 down on the top of the third. John Crawford up next. Left-hand hitting. Left
John
field
had a triple last at bat, folks.
And he scored the only run previous to that last one scored by C&Q painting. First pitch is a ball. It's one deep to right field. Right fielder back. Looks like he's got the range. He puts it away. 2 outs, both on flyouts to the right fielder.
Well, it's always nice to be out in right field and get a little action. There's too many times they send some guy out to right field and he says, oh, geez, I can play ball better than that, you guys. He ends up having to run all night.
I think next time also we're going to have to check the starting lineups of most of these teams and see which team has the names that are easiest to pronounce, and we'll do those games.
This is Mike Burns, folks. Mike's playing right center field tonight. He had an RBI his first time up on a sacrifice fly to the left fielder, knocking in John Crawford from third base.
That's in there for a base hit. Nice line shot up the middle. Right center fielder up at the ball, throws it back into the second baseman. So Mike Burns on first with a 2-out single. C&Q painting down by 2 runs as the Golden Turkeys scored 4 in the bottom half of the second to take a 4-2 lead.
Trying to keep it alive here, see if they can get a big 2-out rally.
There's a ground ball up the middle.
Again, that first pitch swing.
Burns around second. Center fielder has some trouble. Here comes a throw home. It's off the line. Burns scores, and the runner moves up to second. Here comes a throw into second. But getting back to the bag was Mark Purcell. Purcell will smash up the middle.
Well, that was Mike Burns. Sorry, Brian. I inadvertently.
We're having all kinds of trouble scorekeeping here. All right, that was John Crawford that scored, and Mike Burns that singled and moved to second on the throw to the plate. Either way, it's a run scored for C&Q painting. They narrow the margin to 4-3. There's a fly ball. It looks like it's going to be in foul territory. Left fielder going after it, but the ball landed in something out there. Left fielder gingerly picking it up. Little mud puddle there from the recent rains we've had here. And one of the many duties of a shortstop is to clean the ball off after it lands in a mud puddle. I think they'll take that ball out of play for a while, bring in the new one.
Hey, bring it down, Mike. Come on now, guy. We're gonna have you.
Man at second, 2 outs. C&Q painting down by a run. Mark Purcell, the batter. 1 strike. Second pitch a little deep, 1-1 count.
Mike Connors.
Fly ball again to the right fielder. He's in foul territory, makes the putout. All three putouts by the right fielder. C&Q Painting does pick up 2 runs to nail the margin to 4-3 as we go into the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Golden Turkeys up by a score of 4-3. I think something we're also going to have to do here is make sure that neither team makes substitutions, because it definitely confuses things as far as we're concerned.
It sure does. Not much help there.
Why don't we go back and figure out exactly what happened in that inning?
Okay, what happened was Jeff Collins let off the inning with a triple.
He scored on a sacrifice fly.
Yeah, sacrifice fly by Bruce Zronsky, folks. John Crawford, Big John, the big batter for C&Q. Big second batter. Grounded out to the 3rd baseman. Next batter, Mike Burns, got a single. And he scored on a pretty bizarre play, folks. Line shot up the alley in right center field. And he just kept on wheeling. He never stopped. He rounded second, headed to 3rd, and never put on the brakes once, allowing Mike Connors, who hit the ball, to go to 3rd, or to 2nd, excuse me. Scoring Mark Purcell.
And if you understood that, we have a medal for you waiting at Community Access TV.
Yeah.
Anyhow, the score is 4-3. The Golden Turkeys up by a run. Batting in the bottom half of the 3rd. The bouncer right back to the pitcher. He'll make the easy play at first base, just like that, 1 out. Again, we see a lot of batters swinging on the first pitch. Something I know when I'm playing first in softball, I'd like to at least take 1 pitch, because you figure anything near the plate, you got a chance of hitting somewhere in fair territory. But a little different philosophy here. That time he took the first pitch, bounced it right back to the pitcher. 1 out for the Golden Turkeys in the bottom of the 3rd. Next batter, Robin Wagner. Came into this ball game with a .412 average. Upped it a little bit as he singled in the 1st inning. Playing first base in tonight's ball game. He reaches out for 1, lines it right to the first baseman. He has trouble with it, chased it in foul territory. Couldn't quite pick it up. First baseman was over there covering.
How are we going to score that, Brian? Are we going to give them this big single on that one?
Well, I guess now that we've evened it out, gave each team a gift single, we can be cruel and give an error.
Big E, huh?
So there's 1 down, bottom of the 3rd. Golden.
There's Big Bill Lawrence for the Golden Turkeys, folks. Bill flew out to the left fielder his first time up, way back in the 1st inning.
Hitting .471 coming into the ball game. He bounces 1, left side, over to 2nd. Tried to turn a double play, high throw. Nice play by the first baseman, but they did get the force at 2nd. Wagner out on the fielder's choice. 2 down. Will be a man at 1st. Looks like we're going to have a little conference here between the umpires.
Double play interference.
They're going to call a double play interference at 2nd.
Oh, the interference on Robin Wagner, folks.
Unlike professional ball here, where it's
If you're in the, I guess the ruling these days is if you're in the line of throw, if you're in the base path, and you're blocking the 2nd baseman or the shortstop's plane to the 1st base, then you must slide.
That is a common rule among most softball leagues, that if there is a play at the base, you do have to slide, because of the fact that in most of these leagues, not that the teams aren't competitive and not good teams, but one thing they don't want to have is players getting hurt. So if you slide, they figure there's not much chance of you taking out the 2nd baseman or the shortstop, as you sometimes see in pro ball. They definitely want to cut down on injuries. Most of all, they want people to have fun at these games.
Yeah. It's fun to be competitive, but you don't want any physical confrontations.
So we move now into the top half of the 4th. C&Q Painting down by a run. The Golden Turkeys up by a score of 4-3. Mind you, you are watching a tape-delayed broadcast of the Tuesday, May 24th game between the Golden Turkeys and C&Q Painting, a broadcast on Community Access Television. This is our first broadcast also. I'd like to we're sort of still working out the bugs in the system, and definitely next game we do, there will be no substitutions.
I'll have a better scorebook next week. This is actually the scorebook I'm using here as a Dave Purcell lines 1 foul down the 3rd base line. This scorebook is the Scorebook of the Twilight Zone, the softball team that I played for Wednesday night, folks.
I guess we can get a plug in there. Might as well mention my team. I play for the Variables also on
For all
Thursday
you
night.
Rod Serling fanatics out there.
2 strikes on the leadoff batter, Dave Purcell. He looked at that one, but it caught the outside corner. Ooh, close one there when you got 2 strikes on you. Got to be careful of what you take. He took that one. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Another one he takes, strike 3.
Strike 3, the big K for Dave.
Yeah, they're gonna throw that one around. Not too many times you get a strikeout in softball.
Not unless you hit it foul.
So Dave Purcell looked at a couple too many that time. Called out on strikes.
When you have 2 strikes on you, you have to protect that plate, folks. It's Chris Woodruff at the plate. Big fella lines one to short.
Right, I think he might have saw Dave Purcell strike out there. He wasn't going to take any chances. Swung at the first pitch, lined it to the shortstop. He made the play just like that. We have 2 quick outs in the top half of the 4th. Golden Turkeys up by a run, 4-3. CEQ batting in the top half of the 4th.
Jim Emmett at the plate, folks. Jim had a fielder's choice last inning.
Again, swing on the first pitch. Pitcher knocks it down. Thrower to first. He's out of there. Close play at first, but pitcher knocked it down. Wisely kept his composure. Able
Good
to make
play by Mike Korobowski there, folks. Able to locate the ball after it went off his mitt. That's the hardest thing to do, is find out where that sucker went.
From now on, I think we'll just call him Mike K.
Thank you.
Jerry Emmett's okay. I can handle that name, but from now on, it's just going to be Mike K. Looks like the sun's peeked out here again. A few scattered clouds.
C&Q painting went pretty quick that inning. 1, 2, 3.
Don't worry about it, Andy.
4-3. The score, in case you just joined us, top of the 5th inning. Second pitch from Mike K sneaks in, 1-1 the count. Top of the 5th. Golden Turkeys playing the field right now. Up by a run, 4-3. There's a clean single up the middle. Throw comes back in a hurry. Tom Uhal gets on.
A nice solid shot up the middle, folks. See if C&Q can get something going here in the bottom of the top of the 5th, I guess it is. Moving right along here.
So we've seen a couple quick innings, teams going out 1, 2, 3, especially that 4th where both teams went down in order.
Jerry Emmett, the pitcher's up now, folks.
Man at
See what
first.
he can do. He grounded out to the shortstop his last time up.
Man at first, nobody down. C&Q painting trailing the Golden Turkeys by a run.
That's Mike Korobowski on the mound, facing his nemesis, Jerry Emmett, for the 2nd time tonight.
Or Mike K, as we affectionately call him. A little out of the strike zone there.
Well, it sounds like the guys on the Golden Turkeys are calling Mike K Corey, so maybe we should...
We could do that too, sure. Second one, popped down the right field line. Right fielder standing in the right place. They moved in a little bit. I guess as most pitchers not known for their hitting, they didn't think Jerry could poke it that far. Moved in a little bit. Right fielder right there. So we have 1 down. Still a man at first. That's Tom Uhal.
And Jeff Collins will be the batter. He tripled last time and scored on an RBI sacrifice by Bruce Zoronsky, the next batter on deck.
He takes the first pitch. That's a ball. They're telling Corey to get the arc up a little bit here. Again, the umpire right there called that a flat pitch, so the count goes to 2-0.
Got a brisk wind coming in from the first base side, folks. So this ought to be the northwest.
2-0 the count. Runner at first, 1 out. 3-0 the count. Looks like Mike Korobowski having a little trouble finding the plate here in the top half of the 5th inning.
And your batters will be taking more pitches when the umpire's calling balls. Might as well let him call them.
Collins taking all the way on the 3-0 count. Sneaks one in there. That one's lined right to the second baseman. Made a nice play there. He roamed to his right, snagged the liner. So we have 2 down now in the top of the 5th. Still a runner at first base. C&Q painting trailing by a run. Looks like both teams have settled down a little bit. We saw that 1 bad inning for C&Q painting where they made a few errors, but both teams playing a little more under control.
Oh, very quick play by the third baseman there, folks. Real quick play.
Heads-up play, went off the pitcher's glove. The third baseman picked it up, threw to the second baseman covering. But Tom Uhal hustling down the line. There were 2 outs, so he was going as soon as that ball was hit. Hustled into second base, so now we have men on first and second, 2 men out.
And the batter is Big John Crawford. Big number 6.
First pitch, a ball to Crawford. Way inside, ball 2.
But in this league, you can't leave the base until the ball has crossed the plate or been hit.
That one finds the mark from Mike Korobowski. 2 balls, 1 strike to count on Crawford. Top of the 5th inning, men on first and second. This one's popped down the right field line. Right fielder makes the catch.
They've been keeping him busy out there in right tonight.
Certainly the right fielder the place to be, and in this game you're not going to put one of your poorer fielders in right field because there's quite a bit of action.
4 balls to that man out in right field. Let's see who we got out there tonight.
Might as well give him a little bit of credit for the fine job he's done.
Godfrey. He's getting a lot of running around tonight. This is his first night at the plate or playing. He's batting 0 coming into the game. He's been up once and flew out to the left center fielder.
I'd like to remind you, you're listening to Ann Arbor Men's Slow Pitch Softball on Community Access Television. I'm Brian Hartley, along with me, Dan Murray, bringing you this first ball game between the Golden Turkeys and C&Q Painting. Right now, we're in the bottom of the 5th inning. I guess we can call this our 5th inning stretch. Some of the fans stood up there in between innings.
And who are our technical crew here? Maybe we should give the folks who hauled the equipment and are popping the beers for us and
then again, maybe
feeding us our statistics.
Then again, maybe they'd like to remain silent for this first broadcast and enter the picture later on.
First batter, we have David Paskey up here, folks. See if he can get something going. They went 1, 2, 3 last inning. Real quiet for slow pitch softball. Expect a lot more hits than this.
Pitcher covering first. They make it a fine play right there. That's something most teams practice in spring training, but in slow pitch, they don't really have spring training. The pitcher,
good hustle.
Jerry Emmett got off the mound in a hurry as the first baseman went for the ball, hit to the right side of the infield. Got over to the bag, beat the runner. And again, the first batter swinging on the second pitch that time.
This is Tom Godfrey, folks. Tom's 0 for 1.
He's playing right field, made a couple fine catches in right field, seen quite a bit of action so far. Reaches out. Nice running catch by the right center fielder. I guess that's the advantage of having 4 outfielders. You can maybe cheat a little bit, and if it's a left-handed batter or a right-handed batter, the opposite fielders, that time was Mike Burns, who cheated just a little bit, was able to make a nice running catch in right center field. So again, swinging on one of the first couple pitches, Tom Godfrey goes down. Looks like we've seen the last 5 men go down in order for the Golden Turkeys. This has turned out to be a pitcher's battle.
Mike Bragaloni at the plate, see if he can get something started for the Turkeys. They are winning 4-3.
Jerry Emmett underhands one to the plate. It's popped up to the second baseman. He calls for it and makes the putout.
Another inning, 1, 2, 3, folks.
You don't see this happen too often in softball. Usually there's at least 1 or 2 hits an inning, or somebody gets on base via a walk or an error, but a pretty good ball game. Only that 1 bad inning by C&Q Painting where they made a couple errors, but otherwise it's been a pretty good softball game.
Yeah. That 1 inning where C&Q had 3 errors in a row and a sacrifice fly and then another error. That was pretty much the downfall. They were on top of things then, leading at the point, and they've really played real strong ball since then.
That was in the bottom half of the second inning, where the Golden Turkeys scored all 4 of their runs. C&Q Painting came back to score 2 runs of their own, and that's where we stand right now, going into the top of the 6th. The Golden Turkeys up by a score of 4-3. C&Q Painting coming to bat. Let's check those first 3 batters as we have them listed. Hopefully they won't make any substitutions on us here.
No, I think we're done with the subs. We realized that it was a little bit too confusing this first night of Public Access TV. Softball game of the week. Today is the 24th of May, folks, if you're keeping track.
This is a tape-delayed broadcast, so if you're thinking about coming down here and joining us, you're just a little bit too late. Maybe in the future.
There's still an inning and a half left here.
First pitch, laced into left field by the leadoff hitter.
Mike Burns, he's heading for second. Forcing that throw. If you force the throw, then you're making the man get the ball there on time, and chances are it'll be bad or it'll be bobbled or It's worth a try, though, when you're down by 1 run.
Heads-up play. They haven't been scoring too much. We're getting into the 6th inning here, only in basically 2 full innings left. So you got to get somebody in scoring position. Right now it's Mike Burns at second with nobody out.
Big Mark Purcell at the plate, folks.
First pitch to him is a strike from Mike Korobowski. Second pitch just a little outside, evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, Mark's had 1 RBI tonight with those 2 hits. Pretty productive night for him. Looks like Corey's getting a little slow on the arm there. He can't get enough behind it.
That one was ruled a flat pitch, so it moves the count to 2 balls, 1 strike. Second one hit hard on the ground, in the gap. Left fielder comes up with it, but Burns is going to score easily. The throw comes into second. They'll hold Mark Purcell to a single, but it is another RBI for Purcell. His second, and it ties the ball game up 4 runs apiece.
That's 3 hits for Purcell tonight. 2 RBIs. He'll probably be bought a few Dairy Queens for 3 tonight.
Little chocolate sundae for him. Still nobody out. Man at first.
Mike Connors at the plate. Fights 0 for 2.
Oh, close play at second base. The shortstop went far into the hole. Made the throw to second. They were able to get the force out on Purcell.
Very good play by the shortstop there, folks. Mike Bragaloni there at short handling that. Real quick reaction. That's where the 2 balls before that were.
I was going to say, it looked like I'd seen that play before. The previous 2 were hit right in that same general area. He moved over just a little bit, able to get that one.
Very alert play by the shortstop.
So Purcell out on the fielder's choice, 6-4. Connors at first, 1 out, all tied up in the top of the 6th, 4 runs apiece. This one's hit again in the same spot. Throw to second, back to first. Oh, almost a double play. Purcell hurried down the line. That is Dave Purcell, Mark's brother. Again, a fielder's choice, 6-4. Short to second. Looked like they had a chance there to turn that double play.
Double plays are hard to turn in slow pitch softball. There's 65 feet base paths, and most of these guys get wheeling.
We had one in early in the ballgame, but that was on interference at second base that resulted in the double play. 2 outs in the 6th. This one laced over the third baseman's head into left field. Gets by the left fielder. Runners moving to second and third. The throw comes in. He's going around third. There's going to be a play at the plate. He is out at the plate. A nice throw from the left fielder.
That's Dave Purcell out at the plate, folks.
They got Purcell.
They shouldn't have sent him home in that situation. It's better to have a man on third, man on second, and have a tie ball game.
We've seen us a couple of times tonight for CQ Painting. They've possibly ignored some coach's signs at third base, ran right through him, trying to pick up an extra base. That time it didn't work. The throw came in from left field, a fine throw.
He was well beat. He was 10 feet down the line with that throw, folks. The catcher was a very nice tag by Dave Rapaski. Stayed out of the man's way, let him slide, and tagged him with the ball.
CQ Painting does pick up a run in the top half of the 6th. We move into the bottom half of the 6th. It'll be the Golden Turkeys batting, and the score tied up at 4 runs apiece. Without that bad second inning by CQ Painting, Golden Turkeys haven't really threatened too much. The last 2 innings they've gone out 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, they have. Well, C&Q almost went out real quick last inning. But
Jerry Emmett's retired the last 6 batters in a row, something you don't find too often in slow pitch softball. Second baseman tries to come up with it, made a nice stop, kept it in the infield. I think we'll give him a hit on that one. That's a legitimate hit.
Yeah, he had to go to his backhand, and that's coming across your body like that, having to stop and plant your feet. Bruce Zronski playing second base out there for C&Q Painting. And we have Big Jim Silverman batting .667 coming into the game. Jim is 1 for 2 tonight.
Ground to short. They're going to try to get the force to second. They do.
Great play, great play.
That's twice in the last inning we've seen the shortstop go far into the hole, come with a backhanded stop and throw to second to get the force on the runner. Coming in from first. This actually has been a...
Jim Emmett on that play at short, folks. Real good backhand on that play.
I was about to say, this has been a very well-played softball game. Most people...
Except for
that bad second inning. But most people, I think, have a sort of a different image of the guys going to the ballpark, having a few beers beforehand, and not playing good softball. But this has been a very well-played softball game.
One that looks like it'll get out of play there, folks.
People watching their cars in the parking lot, making sure it's not theirs. They got hit.
Looks like a man from Manchester, Michigan. Caught that one, folks.
They'll have to bring that ball back, though.
We have Robin Wagner here. Left-handed batter. Robin's 1 for 2. Had a single his first time up.
Second pitch a little inside, 1-1 the count. Runner at first, one man down. Silverman at first, Wagner the batter. Again, a foul ball down the right field line.
Watch your fence out.
And another car was hit.
Almost a windshield, almost a windshield.
If you're watching, don't park your car by Veterans Park number 4. Definitely a foul ball.
Let's see if
Parking lot.
Let's see if Jim Emmett here, Jerry Emmett, the pitcher here, can serve up one for Robin Wagner that'll make him hit it foul again.
You know,
Big strikeout.
A little difference between the pitching styles. Emmett certainly gets a little more arc on the ball than Mike Korobowski. Hit right to the right fielder. He tries to throw back to first, doubling off the runner Silverman, but Silverman gets back in time. We have 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Ball game tied up 4 runs apiece. The Golden Turkeys batting. They have a man at first, 2 down.
Man at first is Jim Silverman. And we have Bill Lawrence stepping to the plate. He's batting .471, playing right center field again. He's 0 for 2 coming to the plate right now. He lines one, pops one out of play down the third base line.
In foul territory.
Swinging at the first pitch again.
Well, and this is a problem you often encounter. Oh, we do have another softball. Both of the previous softballs were lost out of play, and the umpires were yelling for the extra one. Now they finally bring it in. Two outs, man at first. The Golden Turkeys batting in the bottom half of the 6th. This one's lined right back to the pitcher.
Good play by Jerry Emmett there. Nice backhanded stop, located the ball, made a nice easy throw to the first baseman.
And it's something you see in all forms of baseball. A pitcher who fields his position well is such a help to the team. A lot of times, most fans think, well, the pitcher has to put the ball in play, and that's about all he does. But especially in softball, because you hit so many balls up the middle, a pitcher who fields his position can help a team out quite a bit.
Yeah, he gives the second baseman and the shortstop a little bit more relaxation time out there. And they know they don't have to jump at everything that goes up the middle because the pitcher has a good range if he can get off the mound and find the ball. But that was a good play. We've seen a lot of good plays here tonight.
So the Golden Turkeys failed to score in their half of the 6th inning. We move now to the 7th. The score all tied up, 4 runs apiece. Looks like we may have some extra innings on hand.
Dare we say extra innings.
Although C&Q Painting did score a run in the last inning to tie the ball game up. The Golden Turkeys, as we keep saying, except for that second inning where C&Q Painting made a few errors, basically haven't threatened too much.
It's been a very tight game, very well-fielded ball game. A lot of hard-hit balls.
Let's check the 3 scheduled batters we have for C&Q Painting as we move into the 7th.
We'll be right back.
Laces one into center field.
It was a good play by John Wagner on that ball, folks. Cutting it off and going up the alley there. It could have rolled to the fence. Would have meant extra bases for Jim Emmett.
That would have been trouble. In the 7th inning, you definitely want to cut things off.
We have Tom Uhall up here. Tom's 1 for 2. Was stranded at second his last time up.
Another one hit down the third baseline.
A little out in front of the ball tonight. Left-handed batters have been hitting it.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few go foul into left field.
They must know they're on public access TV. Softball game of the week.
A little zealous. Straightens this one out a little bit. Hit deep to left field. Runner tagging at first. Here's a throw to second.
Looked to me like the runner might have left early.
Don't say anything. Maybe they won't hear us. We certainly don't want to give any team here an unfair advantage.
That's true. We are not in a booth 20 rows up above home plate, folks.
We're on the first baseline.
in close range of the players.
We'll have to wait and see if they try the appeal, something that C&Q Painting tried in the second inning. It took a run away.
Yes, it did.
Well, I guess, no, actually they wound up, we got mixed up in the scoring there. That run actually did count. The Golden Turkeys threatened to protest the ball game, but they did count the run, and that's why we have that 4-4 tie.
The game is being played under protest by the Golden Turkeys, though.
A lazy fly ball into short center field. Center fielder able to make the catch. So we have 2 outs, a man at second, a crucial run for C&Q Painting. You don't want to go to the bottom half of the 7th ball game all tied up, because that means any run that's scored means you lose the ball game.
The ball game is over at that point. If they don't score now, then they're leaving it up to the Golden Turkeys.
And Jerry Emmett on the mound. Maybe he can work some of that magic for another inning. First pitch called a
Looks a little
strike.
shallow to me, folks. Looked like that ball was just a little in front of the plate. Jeff Collins at the plate. Jeff is 1 for 2. Jeff has a triple and scored a run.
Another ball outside. That makes the count 2-1. Runner at second. We're in the top half of the 7th, all tied up 4-4 between the Golden Turkeys and C&Q Painting, which is batting right now. This one is
Nice line shot.
on a line. One hopper to the right center fielder. Here's the throw at the plate.
Here comes the run.
He scores easily. The runner moving to second. Looks like a close play again. He's out. A nice relay from the catcher. If you're keeping score at home, that one was
10-2. Excuse me, 9. The right center fielder caught that ball. 9-2. Back to 4 to second base for the out.
But the run does count.
Jim
So
Emmett comes in with the leading run for C&Q Painting.
a clutch hit by Collins there. 2 outs. He drove the runner in from second base on a solid single to right center field. The center fielder tried for the play at home. Unable to get him. They did get the runner. Collins advancing to second. That was the 3rd out of the inning. But C&Q Painting takes the lead 5-4 heading into the bottom of the 7th.
We'll see if that base running there could have led to another run. We'll see if they'll need that other run that they could have had. Another case of where the coach should have held the man at first.
Pinch hitter now checks into the ball game for the Golden Turkeys.
This is Paul Anderson, folks, taking Bill Szeskowski's place. Bill was the 3rd baseman. This is Paul Anderson's first time at the plate. We'll see if he can get something going here for the Golden Turkeys. They haven't had a man on base they had 1 man on base their last 3 times at bat.
He takes the first pitch, but it's called a strike.
Good pitch by Jerry Emmett. He seems to be on the money right now.
Bounce to the 3rd baseman. He bobbles the ball. No play at first.
Well, Brian, I guess the way you described that play would have to be the big E.
Did I decide that?
Well, there didn't seem to be much question. And it was a slow roller.
Well, if you're a fan of C&Q Painting, the last time we scored them for an error, it was a disastrous inning. 4 runs scored by the Golden Turkeys, and that's the last time they scored. Right now we have a pinch runner coming in. I think that's
Not quite sure who this guy is here. We'll have to find out for you, folks.
first pitch to the next batter, Steve Rapaski, is a ball outside. Runner at first, nobody down. This one's hit again hard to the 3rd baseman. Cuts it off, force play at second. They again throw to first. We might have an interference call. He's out at second. And I guess the runner at first, Steve Rapaski, is going to be safe. Pinch runner questioning the ump. Not sure if the the second baseman had his foot on the bag.
Found out that pinch runner was Bill Szekowski.
I thought he looked familiar.
Batted for.
I thought he looked familiar. Either way, it results in a forced play. 5-4, the 3rd baseman to the 2nd baseman. Line by the pitcher. Oh, almost a double off there at first base, Steve Rapaski. So now there are 2 outs.
Good play by Jerry Emmett on that. Very heads up.
Again, we mentioned before, good fielding pitcher can save a ball club a few runs. That one probably headed for center
Save
field.
himself a few broken ribs also. Those balls come off the bat very quick. Well, those brand new Dudley 12-inch softballs.
So it's left to Dave Rapaski. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, man on first.
That's Dave Rapaski's brother Steve on first, folks. Let's see if they can keep it in the family and knock one out for the Golden Turkeys tonight.
1 strike, line into left field. That's going to be a base hit. Left fielder cuts it off. They'll hold Steve at second, Dave on at first.
Dave Rapaski keeping it alive here for the Turkeys.
So we have the tying run at second. C&Q Painting up by a run, 5-4. The go-ahead run and the winning run at first base. That is
Not
Dave
both on
Rapaski.
first base,
Excuse me, at second base is Steve. Dave at first.
See if they can start the big 2-out rally. This is Tom Godfrey at the plate. Tom has flown out twice. He has 1 RBI to his credit. Jerry Emmett is really putting that ball in there.
Couple of quick strikes.
A very graceful motion also. The If you watch
Strike
the way he
two.
brings back his right hand, his whole right arm.
Two and two the count. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Runners on first and second. Golden Turkey's down by a run. Looks like it might be up the gap. Hit to the right center fielder. Here's the throw at the plate. It's cut off. And they rule him safe at second, so the run does score. We have a tie ball game.
Looks pretty close there, folks. Looked real close there.
That's Dave Rapaski who headed into second. The
Shapaski scoring on the single by Tom Godfrey.
A clutch base hit, 2 out in the bottom of the 7th inning, down by a run. Tom Godfrey lines one up center. They had a chance at the plate. I'm not sure they shouldn't have let that ball go through, but they didn't want the go-ahead run and the winning run to move to third base.
Bruce Zronsky on the play at second there. Thought he had the man. Thought that Dave Rapolsky's foot was off the bag and he had made the tag on him.
Mike Bragaloni, the batter, hits it to second. They're going to get the force at second base as the second baseman throws it to the shortstop. So we have extra innings. We move into the 8th. All tied up, 5 runs apiece. Clutch hitting by both teams right there as they each
barely
picked
eked
up a
it out
run.
here tonight. Lucky for the Golden Turkeys, that is, the Tom Godfrey got that good hit up the middle there, scoring Steve Rapaski from second base. But it's too bad that Steve's brother Dave couldn't have advanced farther than second base on that play.
Well, I guess in the long run, you look at that, that was probably a pretty good play, keeping the runner there. You certainly don't want that winning run to move to third base, because anything, an infield error could have scored the run. But keep him in second. It was going to definitely take a base hit to score him.
Yeah, and Steve Rapaski had gotten a good jump. As I said earlier, you can't leave the base until the ball has been hit or has crossed the plate. And when you can get a good jump on it like that, then unless it's a perfect throw from the outfield, you're going to be safe.
So it looks like we picked a pretty good first ball game to telecast here on Community Access TV.
Yes,
an extra inning affair. We move now to the top of the 8th. C&Q Painting against the Golden Turkeys.
You have the top of the order up for C&Q, starting out with Bruce Zronsky, the second baseman, who I'm sure feels that the man was out at second on the...
A bouncer up the middle. That's what they call a seeing eye hit.
Hearing the first baseman screaming for the center fielder to throw the ball, you want the ball back into the infield as soon as possible after the hit.
I'd like to remind you, you are watching a tape-delayed broadcast of the Tuesday, May 24th Game of the Week on Community Access Television between C&Q Painting and the Golden Turkeys. Right now, we are in extra innings, the top of the 8th here at Veterans Ballpark.
With C&Q Painting coming to the bat.
See if they can turn 2, throw to second. They get the force out at second.
That was John Crawford hitting into the fielder's choice there, folks. Forcing Bruce Zronsky at second.
So we have 1 out, a man at first. Ball game all tied up, 5 runs apiece.
Well, Mike Byrne is the batter now, and he's been a pretty productive man. 2 for 2 with the sacrifice RBI. Scored 2 runs. Pretty productive night for Mike Byrne. As you watch a strike 1 go by from Mike Korobalski.
We've definitely given him a nickname here that he will live with forever on Community Access Television. Pop fly into left center field, the runner tagging. He's bluffing though, the throw comes into second, a fine throw.
Fine bluff.
Again, it's a case we want to make the outfielders, infielders throw that ball around, because a lot of times anything can happen. You can get a bad hop off the infield, or the more you make a team throw the ball around, the more chance for something to go wrong.
Keeping that ball in play. Make them throw it around.
2 outs in the top of the 8th.
Oh, there's a long shot. A long drive.
Oh, and a fine leaping catch right at the fence by the left fielder. That was pretty close to a home run. He really tagged that ball. Steve Rapaski, the man who scored the tying run in the bottom half of the last inning, made a fine catch in left field. That saved 1, maybe 2 runs, as that ball was going to be off the fence, pretty close to a home run. That's the hardest ball we've seen hit all night.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. That was a very good catch. Leaping catch, backhand over his head.
That definitely saved the run, because if he wouldn't have caught that, there was 2 outs. Once that ball was hit, the runner on first had taken out. He had already rounded second by the time the catch was made. So a fine defensive play by the Golden Turkeys gives them a chance to win the ball game right here in the bottom half of the 8th.
The bottom half of the 8th. Extra innings here in the first game of the year for Community Access TV.
And if we get a chance, maybe we could tell one of the ball players that this game cannot go past 10 innings, because that's all the room we have on our scorecard. We're going to have to
create more room.
Maybe we should get a list of requirements for teams that want to be on Community Access TV.
They supply their own scorekeepers.
No substitutions and easy names to remember.
Mike Connors at the bat for, oh, excuse me. Mike Bragalone, excuse me, John Wagner at the bat there, folks. John grounding out to the third baseman.
So one quick out in the bottom half of the 8th inning.
Big Jim Silverman has had a pretty non-productive night. 1 for 3.
Just as you say that, maybe he heard you, I don't know. He lined one up the middle, though. That's a base hit. His first hit of the night.
Another one of those balls hit straight up the middle there.
1 out, man on first. That's Silverman. Bottom of the 8th.
Turkeys can put a drive together, knock that winning run in.
See if they can work Silverman around the bases.
Big Robin Wagner, the first baseman for the Turkeys batting, folks. Robin is 1 for 3, 2 flyouts and a single.
And the first baseman for C&Q Painting moves inside the runner here, trying to cut anything off that could be hit. That goes over his head into right field. Right field has trouble. They move to third.
Silverman's heading to third.
The throw comes into the infield. First baseman cuts it off. We have the runner at third, 1 out. That is the game-winning run right now at third base in Jim Silverman.
Nice hit by Robin Wagner there, folks. Over the first baseman's side, a slicing drive down the first base line. A little bobble by the right fielder there, allowing Jim Silverman to get to third. That's Jeff Collins in right field. We have Bill Lawrence coming to the plate. See if he can knock in that winning run.
Lawrence, a .471 hitter. All he needs is a sacrifice fly. Anything hit out of the infield, excuse me.
He watches the first pitch go by. It's a ball. Infield a little tight here. That looks like it could get the winning run in here.
Here's the tag. The throw coming into the plate. The slide. He is safe. We'll see if maybe there's an appeal play. I guess not.
Jim Silverman sliding home with the winning run on the RBI by Bill Lawrence. Very close game here, folks.
Overall, a pretty well-played ball game. You can't ask for much more. This is our initial telecast of Ann Arbor City softball on Community Access Television. The Golden Turkeys win by a score of 6-5 in extra innings. They picked up a run in the bottom of the 8th. It all started on a single by Jim Silverman. He advanced on a hit by Robin Wagner and finally scored on a sacrifice fly by Bill Lawrence. A tough play for the left center fielder there. He was pretty deep left center field. Not much of a chance to get the runner coming home.
No, not much of a chance at all. You have to have pretty much of a rocket arm to be making that throw. He's figuring he's well over 120 feet out there, and the man on third base only has to travel 65 feet to score.
Overall, not a bad game. As we mentioned a couple times during the course of the telecast, a pretty well-played game. A lot of people had this conception that softball played more for fun than for the fundamentals, and I think overall for this first game we saw a game that was very
good fundamentals, very good. A lot of good plays today, a lot of good hits also, good pitching. But the very low-scoring game. There's not many times in slow-pitch softball where both teams will stay under 10 runs. And if they do, then your pitchers are doing a great job, and your defense is coming through. And it shatters the misconception people have of slow-pitch softball that every game is 50-30, and everybody gets 20 home runs every game. It's a hard-working game, and these guys really worked their rear ends off out there trying to win in extra innings.
And I guess a case in point, the score tonight, 6-5. Neither team hit a home run. I guess the closest we had was in the top of the 8th inning when one of the batters for C&Q Painting hit one to deep left field. Left fielder was able to make the catch.
Steve Rapaski made that great over-the-head backhand catch
on Mark Purcell.
On Mark Purcell's long shot.
And we also saw pretty good defense and good pitching. The two pitchers tonight, Jerry Emmett for C&Q Painting and Mike Korobowski. We call him Corey now that we're on a first name basis.
Yeah.
But overall, a very good pitching game. I can only count 1 or 2 walks offhand that we saw.
Yeah.
So a pretty good first telecast for
very good telecast. Real.
Our softball game of the week.
And my name is Dan Moore, and this is
Brian Hartley.
Brian Hartley, and these people here are going to.
We won't include them. We'll just wrap it up right here. This is our initial telecast of the Tuesday, May 24th ball game here at Veterans Park.
And we'll see you next week.